right, welcome to Chris Cook for You Too. Happy holidays to you. I know that we just got out of Thanksgiving. Now we're moving into the Christmas season. So I have a recipe for you tonight that I think you're really going to enjoy. I got this recipe from one of my cooking friends online. It's Lynn's Recipes, and it will be in captions at the bottom of my site for this particular recipe, because I had no idea that chicken and dumplings could taste this good. It could be this easy to make if you were not making it homemade. Well, she has a fast and easy recipe for making chicken and dumplings that is just fantastic. I tried it. I tried it 2 weeks ago, and I've made it. This will be my third time making it. I made it for some friends of mine, and they just raved at how delicious this was. I'm going to put a couple of twists on it, but basically it's going to be pretty much the same style. I want to say thank you, Lynn, for introducing me to this recipe, because it's one that will go in my repertoire, and I will be eating this for years and years to come. So let's get started. She made hers in the crock pot, but I'm going to make mine in just a regular pot. In here, I've already added a half a stick of butter, not margarine, butter. To that, I'm going to add 2 cans of cream of chicken soup, and it's by Campbell's. So it's just your regular condensed soup, and I'm using just a little bit more ingredients for this because I always have house guests, so I know that somebody's going to pop in and really want to try this. And this is the best chicken and dumpling recipe. You cannot tell that you did not slave over the stove all day in order to prepare this. I really wish you would try this. And also go over to her site and look at some of her recipes, because this one is simply fantastic. And this is the way I'll probably be making chicken and dumplings from now on. And it's very fast and easy. It's not a lot of hassle, to it. Now, we have 2 cans of condensed cream of chicken soup, and we have a half a stick of butter in there. To that, I am going to add 1/2 teaspoon of garlic salt. To that, I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red pepper, cracked black pepper, and cracked white pepper as well. Now, I'm also going to add to mine, I'm going to add 3 chicken bouillon cubes. Now, you really don't need the chicken bouillon cubes. I love a lot of flavor, and this gives you just some added flavor with all the things that you got going on with this chicken, the chicken soup. Now you got the chicken bouillon cubes, which is 3. And then you're going to have the chicken itself. Might need a little bit of chicken broth at the very end. I do have it sitting over here. And of course, my spice to hers, she added chopped onions. I'm not going to add chopped onions. I'm going to add my favorite, which is Lipton onion soup mix. And I think that just does wonders for the flavor. Now hers, man, when you see it, it looks really, really good. It looks like she slaved over the stove all day, which she didn't. But you can give your family a home-cooked meal without doing all of that home cooking. Now, she used chicken breast for hers. For mine, I'm going to use chicken thighs. And the reason why I'm using the chicken thighs is because I think it's a little bit more juicier. And that's what I'm actually going to be looking for in taste. So I have quite a few. I'm going to add these to the pot. I'm going to allow this to boil. And when it boils, and it kind of gets, very, very soft, then I'm going to show you what else she does. And I'll get back to you when that process is ready. Okay, all the chicken is done, and now I'm back over at the other side of the kitchen. I just want to show you a couple of things about the way she cut her chicken. She used chicken breast, and of course I told you I use chicken thighs. So we both really agree on this. Just take your fork, 2 backwards forks. It works better for me too. She said this works well for her as well. And just pull your meat apart. Okay, and I've already, for the sake of time, I've already pulled the rest apart, and this was like boneless chicken thighs. So It's just like the boneless chicken breast, but to me it's just a little bit juicier. And of course that's a personal preference. So okay, now all of that chicken has been pulled apart, and now I'm going to show you what she uses. She uses a jumbo, or she uses a buttermilk biscuit, and I'm gonna tell you, this works very well with buttermilk biscuits. When I thought about it, I'm like, that has to be the way to go. I would not use just regular biscuits. I would do it just like she did it, by getting the buttermilk biscuits. Okay. Then she takes the biscuits and she takes them apart, and she uses her pizza cutter to cut them into fours, and I totally agree. Okay, cut it in half and then cut it again. Cut it in half and then cut it again. Okay. And this makes, you wouldn't believe it, but I'm telling you, you cannot beat these chicken and dumplings. I'm telling you, you cannot beat them. It has a very good taste to it. Now these last two biscuits, I'm just going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to cut these in 8s because I really don't like all of them to be the same size. And how did I do that? I just cut it in half, cut it in half again, cut it in half, and cut it in half again. And that's just because I don't want all my dumplings to be the same size. Now we're going to go to the stove, and I've already did the rest, so I'm going to put these in the pot. Okay, now I want to show you my chicken. Let me just dump the rest of this chicken. This was the chicken that I showed you how to shred. So I'm just putting that into the pot. And as you can see, my chicken, see, it's just shredded down. And that yellow color is just the richness that comes from the bouillon cubes and the chicken. And the chicken broth, I really didn't use chicken broth, only the broth that came from the regular chickens. As you can see, the Swanson broth is still here, the Swanson. So these are the biscuits that we've cut up, and some of them are pre-done. And we're just going to drop them into the pot. And this is one recipe, really, don't knock it until you have tried it, because I'm telling you, these chicken and dumplings, they are really good. So you got the rich butter, you got the chicken flavor that's coming from the bouillon cubes that I put in, and then you have the chicken flavor that's coming from the chicken. Then you have, of course, my favorite seasoning, which is the Lipton onion soup mix, and you have the regular seasonings that, of course, we put in, and you got the chicken flavor that's coming from the chicken. So now I'm just gonna press it down just a little bit, just so I can add some more. And I mean, you can use your own judgment as to how long you want your chicken to cook. I let mine cook down until it was very easy for me to shred. And then with the biscuits, you're going to let it cook until it's really done. And you can pretty much tell it, because you see how it's puffed now. It's going to come back and have a dumpling look to it. So I'm going to finish adding these. And I'm telling you, this is the best meal. I could not believe the taste, and I say that again and again. but I could not believe the taste that I got from this. And I immediately sent Lynn an email and let her know just how good it was. And when I got to her site, there was a comment that was before my comment where the lady had said that she had tried it the night before and her husband just raved about how good it was. I think that the buttermilk biscuits is the exact thing that it needs for you to get that country, rich, homey type flavor that you're looking for. See those pieces of chicken? So we're going to let this cook down. And then I'm going to add, I'm just going to let it cook down just a little bit, enough for me to bury it down. And then I'm going to add the rest of the chicken. And I'll come back. And if you can look here, this is some of the chicken broth that I taken from the pot because I had so much. And if I don't use this, you can take this and put it into another meal. All you have to do, what I do, a secret that I do, is I take the chicken broth and I put it in the ice cubes in my tray. And I make ice cubes out of it. And then when I'm making something that requires some added flavor, just take it, drop 1 or 2 in there. So I'll get back to you by the time this is cooked down a little bit or by the time it's finished, and I'll show you the finished product. But this meal is finger licking good. Okay, my chicken and dumplings is ready, so let's take a look at it. You'll still see a little few bubbles in the pot. That's because I just turned it off. But look at that chicken and dumplings. Look at that. Do you see the thickness in the gravy? That comes from the biscuits and the flour that's in the biscuits. What happens there is it thickens up and it makes that gravy to your chicken and dumplings. And you can see my shredded chicken all the way through this, and you can see the dumplings. And I'm just going to dish up a plate of this. Man, I'm telling you, this is good. When you add the cream chicken soup, and then you add the chicken, and then you add the biscuits, and then you add your spices according with the lemon, not the lemon, but with the pepper and with the garlic flavor and everything that you get in here. There it is. And I'm going to add just a couple of more dumplings on the top of this. There you go. Now that is fantastic chicken and dumplings. It was very easy to make. The only thing that you used was just your cream of chicken soup. You had your bouillon cubes, your chicken, of course, your biscuits, and then you just took some seasonings and you put it in there, and it gravied up just as good, and it looks fantastic. That's all I have for you tonight, chicken and dumplings. I just want to say to Lynn, way to go. 2 thumbs up, girl, because you brought it home with this one. This is definitely a home run hit. Thank you all, and have a great evening.